Okay, so we've got a cross in this question between a different pea plant with green pods and a pea plant with yellow pods. The numbers that we got were for green and for yellow. Said that we have 96 in total and 89 were green and 7 were yellow. That's out of 96. So it is a cross between one pea plant with green pods and one with yellow pods. Now the only genotype that we can have is, for this, is going to be a homozygous recessive. We've got two options then for this. We'll have homozygous dominant or we will have heterozygous. Now let's have a look at the possibility of these two crosses. If it was homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive, then we would have 100% green pods, because the dominant gene is the important one. If it was heterozygous, we would have 50% green and 50% yellow. Now, which one of these options is more likely? Which one is the one that we think we've got making this F1 generation? Well, it can't be here unless we had some kind of a random mutation. So it could be this one if there was a random mutation that made yellow pods. Highly unlikely that this is the case. What we see here is a much more likely scenario. Now we'd expect a 50-50 split. That's our expected outcome. However, it's a small sample, and because of random gamete diffusion, that could explain why this number is so low. So while we'd expect there to be 50-50, it's completely fine and really quite likely that we won't see the expected results with such a small sample size, and because of that random fusion of gametes, we don't actually know what's going on. The analogy is flipping a coin. If you flip a coin 100 times, we'd expect 50 heads and 50 tails because it's random, whereas in actual fact you probably won't get that. You might get 99 heads and 1 tails. Excuse me. The same analogy here is for gametes. We would expect a 50-50 proportion, but in actual fact this is completely fine. We know that it's not going to be a homozygous dominant allele pair, because then we would only get green pods. It's more likely to be a heterozygous pair because we've got some yellow pods. Now the next question then, state the probable genotype. We've done that. It's going to be big G, little g. Evaluate how certain we can be of the genotype. We're fairly certain because we don't have 100% green pods. In the cross described, state the chance of any one of the offspring plants having yellow pods. So in this cross that was described, we look at the chances of making yellow pods, and we look and we see that there is 2 green and 2 yellow out of 4, giving me a 50% probability on both sides. So we'd say that the probability is 50%. The actuality is this, but the probability is 50%. I think that's actually the last question. Calculate to 3 significant figures the percentage of offspring plants with yellow pods that were actually produced. Alright, that's fairly simple. We had 96 plants overall. 7 of those plants were yellow. So work out the percentage. 7 over 96 multiplied by 100. I know we've got other ways of doing this, but this is the way I do it. 7 divided by 96 multiplied by 100. 7.29%. 3 significant figures. 1, 2, 3. And that's that. So if you've got any questions from this, then let me know and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can.